This episode of txtNationTV is brought to you by Music City Bids. It's a buying and selling auction system a little like eBay, but a whole lot better. Check them out online, musiccitybids.com. You're watching txtNationTV. In this episode, we'll be unboxing the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 for T-Mobile. Let's take a look. Alright guys, just before I wanted to get started on this, I did want to tell you I am coming from the iPad Air, the original iPad Air, the 128GB version, Wi-Fi+Cellular. Obviously this will be an upgrade, not a major upgrade, but it will be an upgrade to go from Apple to Samsung. Obviously over the last 9 months you've been able to see I've kind of become a Samsung nerd. I've got the watch, I've got the phone. I'm recording right now on my Note 3. I have the Samsung Galaxy S6. I also have my Galaxy Note 5 where, oh, here it is right here. My Galaxy Note 5. So I've become kind of a Samsung nerd, if you will, or fanboy, if you will. So either way, let's get to this right here, what you're actually here for, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, and take a look, and we're going to kind of see what all's inside of here. Alright, for what you guys have been waiting for, this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, the newest tablet variant coming from Samsung. This is the T-Mobile version. This is also the 9.7-inch version. This is a 32 gig black, and again, this is black that Samsung likes to call black, but not really black. But anyway, this is the T-Mobile variant. It does come in an LTE version. I believe you can also get a 64 gigabyte version just as well. And as you notice here, as I'm hitting the frickin' tripod, it's a 9.7-inch version. It also comes in an 8-inch version if you want the smaller feel of not having like a full-on tablet. But this is basically an answer to the iPad, as it were, as far as Samsung is concerned. So it comes in black, as they call it, but we all know it's blue. So taking a look at this, wow, that actually... They've got like a, and I'm doing it again, they've got like a tissue paper over this, so that's actually pretty nice there inside the box. So the box is still pretty much the same as it was for the Samsung Note 5 and the Galaxy S6. It's that same white packaging that you get. So they're doing uniformity across the board. The one thing that I do like that with this tab, because it's a 32 gigabyte, the one thing that I love that they actually brought back was expandable storage, and you can have up to 128 gigabyte micro SD card put in this thing, so I can have 145 gigs that I want on this tablet, and it's great. So anyway, that's just a side thing. Samsung, if you want to talk about that, we'll take a look back here real quick and kind of go over the quick details that we all want to know about. 9.7 in QXGA. 2048 by 1536 Super AMOLED. Basically, awesome screen. It does quad HD and all that stuff. It's a octa-core processor with two quad cores in there. One running at 1.9 gigahertz and one running at 1.3 gigahertz with 3 gigs of RAM, 8 megapixel autofocus rear-facing camera with a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera, UHD playback, and quad HD recording with 32 gigs and all the other jazz that comes with it. I really still don't understand this ant radio thing. It drives me insane. I do not like it. I want it to go away. Anyway, so let's turn this baby back around. Let's take a look, see what we got here. The one thing I do like about this tablet is it is super, super thin. And by that I mean when you're looking at the iPad Air, that thing is 7.5 millimeters thin. Of course, that was a few years back, and it's a little bit smaller now. But either way, if you look at this thing from the side, it is only 5.6 millimeters thin. It is so super thin. And before I lose my SIM card there, information to the world, you're looking at a super, super slim tablet. Of course, everything that you expect inside your SIM removal tool, your charger. Is this a fast adaptive charging? Travel voyage adapter. It does not say anything about fast adapt. They should have done that. Really should have done that with this tablet. Micro USB cord, sorry, and your standard garbage that we don't ever really want to read or understand, but standard stuff. Looks like there's nothing else in here. Nope, just the box stuff. Okay, all the T-Mobile junk. Yep. Okay, put that off to the side. We'll throw that over there. Don't need that. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. All right, so what we're here for is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, and off to the side here, I actually have my Air. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to move over here and grab that just to show you side-by-side comparison. 5.6 millimeters thin versus 7.5. Let's take a quick look. All right, so this is my Tab 2 here on the left. This is my iPad Air. Obviously, this is much, much thicker because of the case that it's in. So I'm going to remove it out of its case, hopefully, without killing it too badly. We're going to drop that over there on the side. We're going to remove the corner so that I can peel the rest of this out. Very slowly, very carefully. Don't crack any edges. All right, so this is the iPad Air. Again, this is the 2012, 2013 version. You'll see there it is, versus the Samsung Galaxy Tab. And let's see if I can do this so you can see the difference here. There you go. See how just a few millimeters makes such a big difference. But to be honest with you completely though, weight, really not that much different. I think it says on the iPad, let's see, 1 pound on the iPad. Let's see if I can pull up my information here. It might be just under a pound. 392 grams for the, and anybody with quick math on that one, anyone be able to tell me what the difference is on that? Because I'm not good with that. So anyway, well, let's move the iPad out of the way, and we'll do that later. And we'll take a look at the Galaxy Tab S2 here. We'll remove this nice cover that we've got here. I like the fact that they did this because it keeps all the fingerprints and everything off of it. So you just, don't take out the corner. Oh, let's see how this works. Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm not finding how this works out very well without... If you look at the back, look at that. It's like an envelope. You just... Oh, yeah, there you go. So you just pull that out. Slide this out real slow. Now you'll look at that. They've actually got a plastic cover there on the back. Actually, they don't have anything covering the screen. That's kind of odd. Anyway, still, this is a AMOLED Quad HD screen that you're looking at here. I wonder if this thing will turn on, or do I need to go ahead and turn this on? Let's see if I can get it up and going. There it is, Galaxy Tab S2. Focus, come on, focus, focus, focus. Oh, there's a T-Mobile to let you know. T-Mobile variant. Of course, I'll have to go through and set all this up, but this thing is super awesome and super, super thin. This is the kind of thing that we were wanting as kids. Something really, really awesome. You'll see here on the back, you'll see right there, you have a tray. Come on, focus, focus. microSD there on the side, and also SIM slot. Since this is an LTE version, I'll be able to actually get into it right there. You see those two black holes, if you can focus right there. You can see that there. That's where the SIM tray is going to be, as well as the microSD. But that's pretty much it. It's just a nice metal chamfered edge, just like they've done for the Note 5, for the Galaxy S6, for the S6 Edge, and the the S6 Edge Plus. They've pretty much got the same design style across the board, which is awesome. The one thing I do like is these little guys back here. If you see those, I believe that actually attaches to the keyboard accessory. I did not purchase the keyboard accessory just yet because I really want to get a case like I did for my iPad. But let me go ahead and get this thing set up and see if we can get started. Alright guys, now that I've got this thing all set up and good to go, I finally got it going, and it's just taken a little while because I had a little over like 130, 140 apps going. But that's fine. I've got most everything installed, and I think there might be a few things still going. Look out, protection, we'll look at that later. But I think I've got everything installed. So this is basically what we're looking at. It is a 3 GB RAM tablet that you're looking at here. This thing is pretty much getting its design cues from the Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge, as well as the Galaxy Note 5 and the S6 Edge Plus. Same thinness, metal edge chamfered, chamfered. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. You'll see here on the side, much like we were expecting, that we were hoping to get was a international version of the Note 5. There's actually 2 slots here, but this isn't for dual SIM. This is actually for a SIM and a micro SD slot, which we all wanted for the Note 5. So one thing, if you want to get yourself a tablet with expandable memory, this comes in a 32 and 64, or is it 16 and 32 gigabyte versions? I forget. But either way, and let me do my fingerprint here just to show you that it does work. There we go. And another thing, that fingerprint scanner has carried over from the Note 5 and the Galaxy S6 for security purposes. Though Samsung Pay does not come on this, because who's going to walk around with a wallet this big? Anyway, again, one of the big reasons why you would want to get this over an Apple iPad is because you can stick up to a 128 gigabyte micro SD card in this thing. And you can have basically 145 gigs if you stick with the 32, I believe, and then... or I'm not good with math, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You can expand the memory here and have a micro SD and pull more videos if you don't want to stream music that you want to keep, stuff like that. This is pretty much Android 5.1.1. Let me verify that real quick. Let's go down. Yep, Android 5.1.1 there that you're looking at. Again, the Galaxy S2, Tab S2. This is the T-Mobile variant. Obviously, once these things become unlocked, it's pretty much whatever SIM card will work, and it should, because it's across all LTE bands. And this will be great for if I were to switch back to AT&T, which I'm not going to anytime soon just because of their pricing. But looking at the device, it's really great. The great metal edge, really super thin. It's actually even thinner than the Apple iPad. And I keep saying Apple iPad because I previously had the iPad. So let's bring that in real quick. Take a look-see here. And there's my iPad 2 against it, and it's pretty much the same 9.7-inch screen that you're looking at there. This is a little bit more, let's say, real to life as far as colors is concerned, because Samsung is more about color, what's the oversaturation, I guess, to make things look better because of the AMOLED screen. So they make things look a little bit better. So actually, I know this is an unboxing video, but let's just take a look at these real quick side by side. Let's do some side by side comparisons real quick. All right, so let's take a look at the Geekbench scores. This is one of the apps that you can kind of take a look at things and see what everything looks like as far as your processing speed and what it can and can't do. So let's take a look at this first one, and this is just for the iPad. This is the iPad Air, released back in 2013, maybe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because we've had the iPad Air 2 and then now the iPad Pro. But this is a dual-core processor that has iOS 9.1 on it. This is a beta software, being the fact that 9.0 just got released to the public, but I am in the beta software. So we're looking at an A7 processor with 2 cores, 1.4 gigahertz for that. And I believe this comes with either 1 or 2 gigs of RAM. I want to say 1 because I believe that Apple doesn't need as much RAM as what does Android. But anyway, we're looking at a 1449 score here just for the single core, and a 2535 for the dual core. And let's see what we can delve into on those individuals. If you look at the single core comparison, this actually puts your scores out there against others that are out there. Obviously, right now, the iPad Air 2 is going to be the latest until we see the iPad Pro come out, and maybe even the iPad Air 3 later on down the road. We don't know, rumors, but anyway. There's our score, 1449 with the Apple A7 against the Apple iPad Air, Apple A8X, and the iPhone 6 with the Apple A8, both in the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus there. Odd that the Apple iPhone 6 gets a higher score just by a few marks there that you can see, but still not a bad device, still running in 2015. It's pretty awesome to see it. So let's move over to the multi-core and kind of look at the scores there just for the comparisons. Again, there your device there at the top. This is the iPad with the Apple A7 2535, and it almost doubles when you go into the iPad Air 2 with the A8X at a 4529. And again, not too far behind the iPhone 6 or the iPad, the iPhone 5S. Actually just 10 notches above, so not too bad. Still a great device as we look at it. So let's move over to the Samsung brand new Galaxy Tab 2, and take a look at what those are. All right, so now looking at the Galaxy Tab S2, we're looking at the single core. It actually has a lower score as far as Geekbench is concerned at 1233 than what the iPad Air had, so kind of odd there, but almost come close to almost 2,000 more, actually a little bit more, 2100 I believe, over the multi-core score, because we're looking at an octa-core processor here, 2 quad cores, so we're going to have a lot more processing power here. So we've got 4342 here on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, as previously on the iPad Air we had 2535. Also remember, the new Tab S2 has 3 gigs of RAM over the 1 gig of RAM, or 2.71 gigabytes actually if you look down there at the bottom. Same thing going back to the iPad, it had 976 megabytes, which I did not get correctly previously, but just make note of that as we look forward into the other scores. So looking at the single core comparison, we're looking here at the Samsung, so it's going to put it side by side to other Android devices, not right next to the iPad, but you're looking at 1233. Again, the iPad had 1449 at this point. The Galaxy S5 had 938, and just kind of just drops from there when it comes to Android devices. If you take some of these Android scores and go over to the iPad, iPhone, iOS scores and compare them, it almost pales in comparison. You can tell that iPhone, iOS devices, they seem to score much higher on these things when it comes to single cores. But if you start going into the multi-core processing, for this one, for instance, if you're looking at the Galaxy Tab S2, we're looking at 4342. Here's the score that we got compared against a 2836, 2730, 2581, as you see going down the list there. But again, if you look at the multi-core scores here, same thing. This is looking at the Android, but if you compare them against, let's say, the iPad Air 2, which has a score of 4529, which is actually higher than what this Galaxy Tab S2 is. But the big thing that I like about the Galaxy Tab S2 is I can get more expandable memory, and that's the one thing I love. So let's continue. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a couple of videos that I have of the previous episode of me doing the Galaxy Note 5 cases, and you're going to see kind of side by side. The iPad is more true to color in real life, and recreates the color as it was probably meant to be, whereas the Samsung Galaxy there on the right, you will see kind of oversaturates things, makes things overly bright and overly, just to show off that AMOLED screen that it does have, so it looks a lot quote-unquote better on that side, more photo style, I guess, or photorealistic, or I don't know, really honestly I'm not a photo person, but you can just tell it's overly saturated on the Galaxy side. But let's take a listen to the sound here, just because if you notice on the Galaxy Tab S2 there is only one side speaker, and it's near the bottom, and it's only just one, whereas with the iPad you actually have two, or actually you still know you only have one. You have one microphone and one speaker, but the sound coming out of the iPad sounds much more rich and much more deep tones, stuff like that. So take a listen here.
This is the Note 5 Armor Box White, and I'll show
like
that
I
to
said
you
here,
real
you
quick.
can hear
Pull that out. This one does not come with a belt clip. The other one that I'm about to show you, the Unicorn Beetle, does come with a belt clip. The reason why I got this one... There's actually a
and now that you're here listening to me talk, it's kind of a tinny sound. It's real thin. This doesn't sound exactly the most wonderful. So if you're looking for sound quality, it's definitely going to have to be the iPad against the Galaxy Tab S2. All right, guys, thanks again for sticking around and playing the whole time through. I realized that this was kind of a unboxing and comparison to the iPad Air. I don't have the iPad Air 2, so it wasn't up-to-date comparison, but that was just to kind of show you what I was trading from and going to. And again, this is a great device if you really want to get an up-to-date octa-core processor and have a super fast, crazy tablet. This is the place to be, especially with how thin and crazy these edges are. You really got to see it and go touch it in person, because it's just super, super thin. And really glad that they went with the expandable memory on this, because remember, with the Apple iPad, the highest you can get was 128, and with the side here, I've got my SIM slot there on the bottom and the microSD on top, so I can actually take a 32 gig version and turn it, add an extra 128 gigabytes or 119 if you actually want to look at it, and just basically turn this into a 145 or 150 something gig awesome tablet. So awesome that they did this. I just hope that they carry over the expandable memory into the Galaxy S7 and possibly the Galaxy Note 6 when it comes around time again next year. But guys, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, always hit us up. We're online at txtNationTV. You can find everything there, and it's Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. We're all there. Google Plus, find us there. Share this video, big thumbs up if you like. Subscribe, share the video if you can. Let us know, comments in the section below, what you liked, what you didn't like. Was it too long? Was it too short? Did I need more information? Whatever it is to make this video. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video.